thought about doing my hair, but then I realized that we're on a finite time during nap time, so here we are. Hey guys, my name is Shayla. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. I talk about pregnancy and mom things. I'm pretty minimalistic and natural, so if you are also those things, please subscribe and join on in. Thanks. I just did a video about girl names that are cute but a little weird. I didn't think they were weird, but I shared them with a friend of mine and she was like, you need to write that they're kind of weird. Okay, so these might be cool but weird boy names. I don't know, but I like them. My other video, the girl names, I talked about a few things that you want to consider when naming a baby. Go over there, I'll briefly say it's just, do the initials make a weird word? Does it rhyme with anything? And then syllables. So the first, middle, and last name need to have different syllables apparently to sound the most appealing to the ear. So we had a boy list and a girl list, like most people do. We were originally told that our daughter was a boy. There's a whole video on that. They're doing construction outside my house. I don't know if you can hear that. It's fine. Anyway, let's get into it. There's a trend going on right now with boy names that I'm loving. It's using surnames or last names as first names, and I think it's fantastic. Honestly, I found these on sites, but like 5 of them are from people I went to high school with. So if you're watching this, yeah, your last name would be a cool first name for a boy. The first name is Anders. It's like Anderson, but shorter, Anders. And I think it's just a strong but short name. The second name is Nolan. I remember I had a junior high coach with this Mr. Nolan. And I remember thinking, oh, that'd make a cool first name. Because I've been thinking about names since I was 5 years old. I don't know. Greer. Greer, they said, could be for a boy or a girl. I feel like names now, when we are naming our children, we need to find the coolest, uniquest name that no one else has. Oh, it's on the top 100? I don't want it. That's how I feel, at least. Maybe that's not the whole world. And Seth made a good point. It's like when you buy a car and you're like hyper aware of it and you see everyone else has that name and you're like, well, this is not unique at all. I've never named a baby in another time, but I imagine when parents named their kid Ashley, they didn't think that there would be a show talking about Ashley A and Ashley Parker. One of my best friend's last name is Parker. Parker is cute for a boy or a girl, and I just love Parker. Harrison. Harrison is like Harry, but like strong and sophisticated. I think it's just, and obviously Harry could be a nickname, but like classy. I don't know. Radford. I think if you name your boy a last name, they're automatically either going to be in the army or on a football team. People call everyone by their last name anyway, so if their first name is the last name already, they're going to be like, no, this kid's an athlete. Bray. I just like the one syllable. I think one syllables, we have the last name that's 3 syllables. I think the one syllable with the 3 syllables sounds really cool. So when you hear these names, put them, pair them with your last name and see what you think. The other thing that I think is that people are looking for baby names that sound like brand names. Like, oh, I'm gonna get the Instagram handle as well. Nas. Nas doesn't feel like an athlete to me. Or like a sports team athlete. He's like the independent outdoor skater guy, or he's the rock climber. I don't know. Nas. Arlington. I am a big nickname person, so when I pick a name, I need to know what the nickname is. So Arlington, for me, it's Arlo. And I would maybe just name him Arlo because Arlo is cute. A-R-L-O. Arlo. I bought my van when I lived in a van from an Arlington, and he was an old guy and he went by Arlie. And I think that's adorable. I think that's adorable as a baby. I think it's adorable as a kid, an adult, and like a grandpa. Love it. Jones. Jones is obviously a last name that works, I think, great as a first name. Sullivan. I think Sullivan's super cute, and Sully, I think, is the cutest nickname for a little boy. Miller. I met a Miller, and I was like, is that really your first name? Yeah, that's my first name. And then I saw it on the list of last names for first names, and I think Miller's is super cute. Oh, look at here. I have some ideas for how to find unique names. First tip is finding surnames in your family. So asking your grandma what her maiden name is or what your great-grandma's maiden name was to see if it's something that you want to use for your child's first name. You can also search popular baby names in 1920s and the 30s. They're usually very traditional names, but sometimes you get a couple cool ones in there. Seth and I have been to Ireland, we've been to New Zealand, so I looked for cities in Ireland, cities in New Zealand, and saw if I could find some cool names that I was like, yeah, I could name a child that. Like I said, the syllable thing, if you know that, okay, my last name is 3 syllables, so I need to choose a 1 syllable or a 2 syllable name, you can type in boys' names with 1 syllable. Now we're done with those surnames. Now we're just the regular names. Lyndale. If you live in Minnesota, you cannot name your kid Lyndale because Lyndale Avenue is a very popular street here, but I think Lyndale is just like kind of weird, very phonetic. I think it's cool. Atticus. Atticus, and then call him Attie. It's kind of a traveler name. Weston. I put this in my girl name one because between Easton and Weston, I feel like we're more of West Coast people, so I thought Weston was better, but it's a good boy name. It's not really a good girl name. Wes is a great guy's nickname from Weston. Roman. Romy was a girl name that I really loved. Roman, I feel like is just a super strong, solid boy name, Roman, and then you can call him Rome. Another one that I love is Atlas. And Atlas, apparently a really old name. I obviously, as a traveler, think that it's a cool traveler name, Atlas. And then again, it could be Attie. Vaughn. I follow someone on Instagram whose son's name is Vaughn, and I think that is the coolest name, but it doesn't pair well with all last names. It doesn't work with our last name. But now, when I'm thinking of these names, like naming your second kid is way different than naming your first. Your first, you're like, I can pick whatever I want. Second, you're like, does the first name of my first kid and the first name of my second kid like sound good? And there's recommendations of like, if it's an Irish name, stick with Irish. If they're both A's, do 2 A's, which I don't like. I feel like that's how you end up with a roll call when you're trying to call a kid and you're like, go down the list of kids because they're all the same letter. Tate. Tate is a super short, strong, simple. I imagine a Tate being like a strong but like silent, good listener as a man. I don't know why. Hendrix. This is Seth's top pick. He thinks Hendrix is cool and he's like, you can call him Henny. And I like that. I think Hendrix is cool. It's the most difficult thing to agree on a name with someone else, I think, because you think you've got the best name and then you share it and they're like, no. Yeah, of course not. I don't know. I even said that. I don't know. Crew. This is what I'm talking about. This is like a brand name, but I think Crew in itself is super cute. Ollie. It's like the nickname of Oliver, but just naming the kid straight up Ollie. Love. Love. Reeves. Reeves, ooh, that might be a last name as a first name. I don't know. I know a girl named Reeves, which I love, but this is Reeves with an S. I don't know what to say about that other than it's unique. Ocean. My sister and Seth were both like, Ocean? Why don't you name him Grass? And I was like, no, Ocean, this is cool. I know somebody who named their kid Ocean. And they're like, were they like travelers and hippies? And I'm like, absolutely. I also know somebody that uses it as a middle name, and I think that's cute and like a way to not be so weird, but still include it. Holden, there was a show that Seth and I watched, and the main character was Holden, and I just loved it the whole time. I thought Holden was so, I keep saying cute for boys' names, which is not what you want. Rowan. Rowan I loved for a girl. We knew somebody that named their kid Rowan, and so we X-nayed it, and they were like, no, go ahead and name your kid Rowan. So it went back on the list for boys. Taft. Taft is a little bit strange. Taft is almost kind of hard to say, but it's kind of like Tate. Like, I like that it's short and simple and just like strong. Braxton. I have loved the name Braxton since my nephew was born. My sister says you can't do it because of Braxton Hicks, the fake contractions or like the practice contractions that you get when you're pregnant. I don't care. I like Braxton. Braxton could also be a girl name. Ray. Just Ray. I think Ray is, like think of Ray with your last name. For us, I'm like, I love Ray. It's so simple. It's so easy. What is Garrison?
It's like a military
word.
If it's a garrison of troops, I'll look it up. You have a phone right next to you.
Yeah, garrison most often refers to a military outpost where troops are stationed to provide protection to an area. I don't care. I like garrison, but if you are a military family, you probably won't want to choose garrison. Raen, spelled R-A-E-N. I have a friend that named their kid Raen. Really a unique name without spelling it like Rain. Maybe their brother could be named Ocean. I don't know. Amos. Amos is so cute. Amos, I think, is kind of creative, but it's still strong and it's very simple. And I don't know, I really like Amos. Jack. I like Jack, Hank, like very basic, not traditional, but short names. Ford. I think Ford's cute. My sister was like, what about Chevy? I was like, are you joking? Aaliyah's on her playmat now. I was like, are you joking? She's like, you said Ford. I was like, I know, but Ford sounds like a name. Chevy does not. Chevy sounds like a dog.
There's an actor named Chevy.
Really?
Yep, Chevy Chase. He's like one of the most famous actors now. Caddyshack.
I've heard of the name.
Yeah, he's funny as hell.
I honestly thought it was Chubby Chase.
Chubby Chase?
Adler. Kind of like Adley, which was what I had for a girl. Ellis. Ellis is an old school name that I think is very cool, and I don't know what the nickname would be for Ellis. Maybe just Eli. Maybe I just like the name. Eli's on here. I wanted to call Aaliyah Eli. Malone. I think Malone is so cool, and my sister and Seth said no because of Post Malone. They couldn't get past it, but I just I think Malone is such a cool name. Knox. Using the X for like Jackson or Knox. Super trendy. Braxton. Like the X. Cedar. I really liked Oakland for her. I like using the woods and then coming up with the name. Cedar itself I think is cool, but nobody liked it. Those are my boy names. So if you're interested in kind of weird, but like, wow girl, that bell. She's like a cat. As long as it doesn't hit her in the face.
Well, it probably will.
Girl, you get, oh, there it was. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If any of these are your baby's names or you are going to use them, let me know because I want to know that I helped name your baby. Check out my girl name video because even though you're not naming a girl, A, a lot of those names are boy names, and B, there's some good things to consider when naming your baby and apps that we use and different things like that. So thank you so much for watching and I will see you next time. Mwah! Bye.
We're at the hospital and it's about to go down. She's killing it. How you doing, Boo?